James again from Life of Sport Games, and I'm going to show how to interpret ground out tables for the game True to Life Baseball. This system was designed. I once played a game that had just tons of tables, and so you had to go through page after page after page to determine the outcomes. And what this system does is that you've got all your ground out tables basically on one page, the front and the back. First baseman, second baseman, and then on the back is a third baseman, shortstop. And there's one on the main game table is for the pitchers. I'm just going to show the second base, man, because that's what the camera's centered on, and if I move anything, that it'll be off screen. And now this doesn't. You have to interpret the runner positions, but it's really pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, say you have a runner at first, and there's less than 2 outs. Anytime there's a potential force play at second, and there's less than 2 outs, that's a potential ground out, or ground into double play. I'm sorry, and that's what all this is. So if it's a ground into double play opportunity, you use this table. So say we have a runner at first, and you do a ground out determination roll, which is just another red and white die roll, and say you roll 38. That would give you a ground into double play for a 3. The assist is always first, and the putout is always second. So like a 4-6-3 would be the second. It's hit to the second baseman. He shovels it off to the shortstop, who steps on second base and throws to first baseman to double up the batter. A 4-3 would be like unassisted, so it goes to the second baseman. He steps on the bag himself and throws to first base. Now, the only time a batter's BR modifier is used is if it's a ground into double play situation. Then the BR for the batter is if it's it's added basically. If it's positive, it'll increase the die roll. Like if it had been a 37 and it was +8 for the BR of the batter, that would make it 45, and then it would be a fielder's choice 4-6. Of course, fielder's choice means the batter is safe, and the fielder decided to get the force. And you know which base it is because there was a runner on first, so he has to be forced at second, and it also tells you who's making the putouts. If there's a putout at second base, it's always going to be either the shortstop or the second baseman. If there's a putout at third base, it's going to be the third baseman. If there's a putout at first base, it's going to be the first baseman. So now if the reason I consider the modifier for the batter is used is because that's going to simulate a slow runner having a greater opportunity to hit in double plays than a fast runner. And then everything else is handled pretty much the same as far as for ground into double plays. Like here, if it had been runners on first and second, again, see, you can tell where the putout is. It's at first base, and it's unassisted. And this one was 4-6-3, so the first putout was by the, at second base by the shortstop, and then the second putout was at first base. So that means that if there was 0 outs, and so this didn't end the inning, that the runner at second would be at third, runner at first would be retired, and the batter is retired. Now, here you have first and third deep, and first and third close. When there's a runner on third, the and less than 2 outs, the player playing the defense has to declare whether he's playing his infield deep or close. If he doesn't declare it, it's assumed he's playing deep. And then you use whichever table the defense is at. You notice here there's a field choice 4-2, so the putout is at home. Playing close gives you an opportunity to cut the runner down at home, but you're giving up the opportunity to have a double play. And also, when you're playing close, there's this unique outcome. NP all safe. That means that you tried to go home, but he was called safe, and so nobody's out. Batter's safe at first, and any other runner advances one base as well. So I mean, playing close is a risk, just like in real baseball. You're playing close when that's a critical run in the game, and you're risking giving up a big inning. And here you're more like sacrificing the run in order to get 2 outs and to prevent a big inning. Then down here is where you have your non-GDP situations. It's pretty much any time there is not a runner on first. Okay, so here if you have runner on second, a lot of this stuff here you're determining whether the runner holds or the runner advances. So a runner at second and you get 0-3, ground out 4-3, runner holds. That means the runner at second stays at second and the batter's retired. Now if it's just ground out 4-3, anytime it doesn't say RH, you assume that the runners advance. So the batter's still out first, but the runner advances second or third. And that's critical because if there's just one out, there's a greater opportunity of getting that runner home on a sacrifice fly or a ground out. Just like in real baseball, you're going to have a higher chance of advancing runners if the ball's hit to the right side of the infield, either first base or second base. If the ball's hit to third base or shortstop, it's very unlikely that you're going to advance a runner from second base on a ground out. And I don't know what else to say about it. I think that's it. Oh, here it has runner hold, runner on second hold. See, if there's runners on second and third, and you have this result where there's ground out 4-3 RH, that means that all runners hold. So RH is, instead of you putting all, you just assume it's all. But if it says like R2H and there's obviously a runner on third to start with, that means the runner on third scores, but the runner on second holds.